Hi, okay, so it's me. I decided I'd mix it up a little. Yes, I'm in the same outfit I've been in for I don't know how many of the last videos. A lot. But I put a jacket on, so I look different, right? Like, you can't even recognize me. I know. So I'm really excited about this video because I'm going to be talking about the books I plan to read by the end of the year. So a little bit of background. My Goodreads goal was 52 books. I really wanted to get back into reading this year. Since I'm a college student, it's really hard to find the time for reading, like really hard. And so I set my goal as 52 books, and it did not look like it was going to happen. Like with quarantine and everything, I was like, oh, I have more time, but like school was just crazy, and other stuff as well. And so like it didn't look like I was going to make it. I fell in love with graphic novels that really helped boost my goal. But right now I'm still, I think, like 10 books behind, and it is December. So I've got very little time, and I have exams coming up. So I've really got like a 2-week period to read as many books as I can. So the books I plan to read, I have a list. Yeah, I got a list. So I've got a couple books I'm reading. I read multiple books at once. I plan to finish what's it called? The Life-Changing Magic of Tidying Up by Marie Kondo. Let's see how far into it I am. It doesn't tell me. I'm sorry about that. But I think I'm about 30% in. I'm listening to the audiobook. I really love it. My mom loves Marie Kondo, so we've been like really talking about it together. So I'm listening to the audiobook for it. Really been enjoying it. I plan to finish that one up. I also want to finish Game of Thrones. I've got like a third left, and I really, really want to finish it. And I'm really excited to. I have never watched the show. Please, no spoilers. I don't know anything about it. Please don't ruin this for me. But I'm really enjoying the book. I really like it so far. But like a 4. There's certain things that I'm like, George. Okay. One, let me just say, it's amazing that he created this world, that he has so many books about this world, and he was able to make it so in depth. Like, don't get me wrong, amazing writer. I am not trying to be like, yeah, anyone can do this. No, it's incredible. There's a few spots that I think maybe an editor missed, which is understandable because this is a huge book, and I mean, it's hard to catch everything, but just like there's a few places where the pronouns were just wrong. There was one place where that happened, not a few places. There was one where I thought didn't make sense. So there's just a few minor details that keep it from being a 5-star. That being said, it's a huge book. A few minor details, that's nothing. You know what I mean? Nothing. And so, I really am enjoying it. I'll have a full review on that when I finish it, because I have more thoughts and more reasons why it's more of a 4 for me. But we'll see. Maybe I'll change. Maybe I'll go up to 5. Maybe I'll go down to 3. I don't know. But I do plan on finishing that. Okay. I made a list, and I already know I'm forgetting something. Don't you hate that when you're like, oh, I made a list, it'll be fine, and then you're like, I forgot pickles. Like when you're grocery shopping, not like you read pickles. I swear I'm reading another book. I know what I'm reading. Okay, I got it. So the other book, this is the last book that I'm currently reading that I would like to finish, is The Shining. I have been reading The Shining since October. That's a long time, like early October too, guys. And so I'm reading The Shining, and I have literally like 50 pages left. And I've had 50 pages for a while. The problem is I don't want to read it at night because it's gotten to like the kind of scary part. And I'm like, I don't want to scare myself. I don't know if it would, but I don't really want to read it at night. But I only read at night. So that's the dilemma. But also it's like I'm not really into it anymore now that it's gotten to that scarier part. Again, I'll probably do a full review on it when I finish it. But I definitely want to finish that. So we've got 3. Then I also want to read quite a few graphic novels. If you have seen my recent library haul, all of those graphic novels are on there. So we have Watchmen, Mortal Instruments, graphic novel, first one, Sea of Monsters, Percy Jackson, that graphic novel, Pneumonia, that's not it. It is not Pneumonia, that book. I do not know how to say the name. Please someone tell me. Yeah, so those are the graphic novels that I'm planning to read. So that's okay, so we're up to 7 now. So we just need a few more. Now, the other books I checked out, I would like to read. So I really want to read Sadie. I'd like to listen to that one and, read it as well. I also like really, really, really want to read Lies of Locke Lamora. I think I'll really like that, but I might not get to it this year because I'm reading Game of Thrones, and that kind of is taking my like fantasy spot. Like I have like spots in my brain for stuff I'm reading. I really, really want to read, what is it called? Beautifully Foolish Endeavor. That's Hank Green's second book to An Absolutely Remarkable Thing. An Absolutely Remarkable Thing is so good. It's the book that got me back into reading. If I'm being honest, I absolutely loved it. It reminded me of all that a book could be. It reminds me a lot of Ready Player One, but I think it's better. Okay, every book doesn't remind me of Ready Player One, but I really enjoyed Ready Player One. So that was the first book I'd enjoyed in a long time, and this Absolutely Remarkable Thing was the book that I was like, wow, you can read a book and literally love everything about it. And I'd forgotten that, and I think it's such a fun feeling when you get that. Like, anyone that's watching this, please comment below if there's a book that you've read and you're like, I loved every moment of it. Like, every moment was enjoyable. There wasn't a moment that took you out of the story. Like, you just wanted to keep reading more. Like, you were in love with it. I want to hear those books, what they were for you, because I'm really curious, but that's what that was for me. So the second one, A Beautifully Foolish Endeavor, came out this year. I have a copy of it. I'm really excited to read it. I also have the ebook from the library. I love ebooks. Okay, this is another one I'd like to finish. The Best of Me by David Sedaris. David Sedaris, The Best of Me. It's a collection of his essays, short stories, I don't know what you'd call them. And I've never read anything by him. I'm really enjoying it. I'm about 23% of the way through, according to Libby. I also love Libby. If you haven't checked it out, it's great. It's like partnered with Overdrive. Your library might have it. It's great. Anyway, The Best of Me by David Sedaris. It reminds me, his essays remind me a lot of John Steinbeck's essays. No. Is that who I'm thinking of? No, maybe Fitzgerald? I'll put whoever might, whatever, and I'll put the collection of short stories I was reading by them. But they're very funny and dark almost. Like, the people aren't good in them, and it's actually really good. So I've really been enjoying it, so I'd really like to finish that as well. So what are we at? 7, 8, 9, that's like 10, maybe. I can't do math. But those are the ones that I'm like, I really, really, really want to read these. There's a few others that I'm like, I would like to read it if I can. Like those type of books. So like Where'd You Go, Bernadette would be on that list. There's a few books I've from the library, like Admission by Julie Buxbaum. Is that how you say her name? I have no idea, but she is one of my favorite authors of all times. Tell Me Three Things. Favorite romance ever. Like romance novel, graphic novel would probably be Heartstopper. Check out that review if you're interested. It's really good. But she wrote Admission. But okay, Admission is like essentially it's kind of like, the whole college scandal with the woman from Full House. You can tell I don't really keep up with that. Lori Loughlin, is her name? I don't know. But the whole college scandal where she like paid for her daughter to, anyway, all of that. The book's basically about that, and this girl, book's about this girl that finds out her parents did that, and like how we can be complicit in society. I'm really excited about it. I think it'll be wonderful. I'd also really like to read The 99% Invisible City, which, let me pull up the summary of, because I'm going to tell you about this book because I know how to do that. So blah blah blah, review. Okay, John Green wrote a review. Forget the summary. Let's read John Green's review. The 99% Invisible City brings into view the fascinating but often unnoticed worlds we walk and the drive through every day, and to read it is to feel newly alive and aware of your place in the world. The book made me laugh, and it made me cry, and it reminded me to always read the plaque. Gosh, I love John Green! Okay, wasn't that great? I love John Green. So essentially, that reminds me what it's about, because I remember. But it's basically about, like, all these things that you don't notice about society. Show? Is it a podcast? Oh my gosh, it's a podcast! Catch me listening to it. So it's based off a big podcast. It's about small seeming things. The sidewalks. Okay, anyway, it seems really good. Apparently it's a podcast. So if you like podcasts, maybe check that out. But I'm really excited about that. So there's a few others that are like on there for me, but those are the ones that I'm like, I really want to finish these. Will I? I don't know. I kind of get a wild hair and I'm like, I'm going to read this graphic novel. I don't know. But those are the ones that I'm planning to finish. What are you planning to finish by the end of the year? Any books? You're like, nah, I'm going to vibe. I don't know. I'm curious. But yeah, so thank you for watching. If you've made it to this far, thank you. It means a lot. I appreciate it. Happy December. My book, which is about I haven't said what any of these books are about. I'm sorry. That's my B. Well, I mean, I guess I should do that. I'll leave the summaries below. I'm really sorry.